What if you did everything right? Trained harder than anyone else? Sacrificed more than anyone else? And were still told it was never meant for you? What if destiny wasn't denied because you were unworthy, but because destiny itself is arbitrary? In Arc 6, Mandate of Heaven, we examine villains who believe power is justified by fate, merit, or cosmic order. Last episode, Master Li believed order must be engineered, even through deception. Today, we confront a different tragedy. Tai Lung believed power was owed to him. This is not a story about arrogance. It's a story about entitlement born from devotion. This is episode 27. This is the philosophy of Tai Lung, from Kung Fu Panda. This is Beyond the Villain, where we unmask evil, one story at a time. And today, we explore a villain who didn't want to rule the world. He wanted recognition. Tai Lung was not born cruel. He was chosen. Abandoned as a child, Tai Lung was taken in by Master Shifu, who saw in him something extraordinary: speed, strength, discipline, hunger. Shifu did not simply train Tai Lung, he raised him. Kung Fu became Tai Lung's language. Approval became his oxygen. The Jade Palace became his world. From childhood, Tai Lung was told, implicitly and explicitly, that he was destined for greatness. He trained harder than anyone, endured pain without complaint, mastered techniques meant for legends. Tai Lung did not believe he might become the Dragon Warrior. He believed he already was. The moment everything breaks is simple. Tai Lung is denied the Dragon Scroll, not because he failed, not because he was weak, but because Oogway sensed darkness in his heart. From Tai Lung's perspective, this is incomprehensible. No explanation, no redemption, no second path, just rejection. In that moment, Tai Lung does not feel betrayed by destiny. He feels robbed. He destroys the valley not out of malice, but out of disbelief. When purpose is taken away, rage fills the void. Tai Lung does not seek chaos. He seeks validation. The Dragon Scroll represents proof that his suffering meant something, that the years of obedience were not wasted, that destiny was real, and that it chose him. To Tai Lung, reclaiming the scroll is not theft. It is restoration. Tai Lung does not see himself as evil. He sees himself as wronged. From his perspective, he followed every rule, trusted every authority, sacrificed his identity for a promise. And when the promise was withdrawn, he learned the most dangerous lesson of all. That morality is optional when destiny is denied. Tai Lung represents a brutal philosophical belief. That merit entitles power. This worldview is rooted in a distorted form of Confucian meritocracy. The idea that virtue, discipline, and effort should determine status. But Tai Lung removes the moral half of the equation. For him, effort replaces humility, achievement replaces character, strength replaces wisdom. Tai Lung's logic aligns with teleological entitlement, the belief that outcomes justify authority. There are echoes of social Darwinism here. The strong rise because they are strong. The weak fall because they deserve to. But there is also something more tragic. Tai Lung embodies Aristotelian virtue ethics without balance. Aristotle warned that virtue, taken to extremes, becomes vice. Courage without temperance becomes recklessness. Ambition without humility becomes tyranny. Tai Lung is excellence without restraint. Everything Tai Lung does follows this logic. He escapes prison not to dominate, but to correct an error. He fights the Furious Five not out of hatred, but because they stand between him and what he believes is rightfully his. Even his confrontation with Shifu is not vengeance. It is a demand for acknowledgement. The danger of merit-based destiny is this: it turns effort into entitlement. When success becomes identity, failure becomes annihilation. And when authority denies recognition, violence becomes justification. Master Oogway represents the counter-philosophy. In Taoist thought, destiny is not earned, it unfolds. The universe does not reward effort. It responds to alignment. The dragon scroll is empty because meaning does not come from validation. It comes from acceptance. Po is everything Tai Lung despises: untrained, unchosen, undisciplined. And yet, Po succeeds because he does not need destiny to exist. He fights not to prove worth, but to protect others. Power without hunger is freedom. History is filled with Tai Lungs. Brilliant generals denied promotion. Revolutionaries promised power, then discarded. Prodigies raised to believe they were special until society moved on. When systems reward devotion but offer no compassion, they create monsters who feel owed the world. Tai Lung forces a question we avoid. What happens when we teach people their value is conditional on success? Modern systems, corporate, academic, social, often promise meaning through achievement. But when achievement becomes identity, failure becomes existential. Burned out overachievers who collapse when promotions don't come. Veterans abandoned after service, athletes discarded after injury. Children raised as chosen who never learn how to be human. These are not villains, but they walk the same philosophical edge. Ambition without self-acceptance becomes resentment. Discipline without compassion becomes cruelty. Was Tai Lung truly evil, or a victim of a system that confused worth with achievement? Would he have fallen if Shifu had loved him without expectation? Would he have broken if destiny had not been promised so loudly? Rulers ruled only as long as they governed justly. Tai Lung represents the collapse of that idea. He believes mandate is permanent once earned. But power without renewal becomes tyranny. Master Li believed order must be manufactured, even through lies. Tai Lung believes order must be honored, even through force. One manipulates destiny, the other demands it. Both fall because they mistake control for legitimacy. From fallen emperors to disgraced elites, history shows us. Those who believe power is owed rarely relinquish it peacefully. They burn the world rather than accept irrelevance. Tai Lung is not terrifying because he is violent. He is terrifying because he is right, just not enough. Effort should matter. Discipline should be rewarded. But when worth becomes transactional, compassion disappears. Tai Lung shows us the danger of teaching people they exist to fulfill a role, and nothing else. When destiny replaces humanity, destruction follows. So let me ask you, was Tai Lung right to demand what he earned? Or was his greatest failure believing that destiny owed him anything at all? Tell me what you think in the comments. This has been Beyond the Villain, where we unmask evil, one story at a time.
Skadoosh.